On today's app, we're taking this brand new toolbox and making it look rusted and busted with just a little bit of spray paint and some sawdust. Okay, so long story boring, this is my OG sign painting box. I've always hated it because it had a plastic tray that finally cracked, and this diamond plating kind of prevents me from doing like a fancy sign painting thing. So I got a new one, and it almost fit. Seriously, like a 1/16 of an inch. So to make it fit,
we need to mark where we need to cut it off with a cutoff wheel. Hammer it down flat. Put a new angle on it. Sand it down so it's ready for welding. Weld it. Grind your shit weld. Get rid of the hardware. Sand the paint. Put paint remover on there. Let it sit overnight. Scrape it. Wait, hold on. Zoom in. Enhance. Sand off the pain in the ass paint. Bondo it. And sand it again. Alright, now this box is naked. We're gonna tape up any holes and cracks from the inside of the box to make sure like no overspray gets inside there.
including these handles because I couldn't be bothered sanding such a pain in the ass area.
Wipe it down with some rubbing alcohol and we're ready for paint.
Just gonna give it a nice smooth 2 coats of flat black. With it dry and murdered out, let's get rusty. To achieve a really good looking, authentic, rusty metal look to it, 4 paints right here. The first one, most important one, is red oxide primer. Yes, this stuff is primarily used for really rusty stuff. The way it works the best though is not so much getting rid of the rust, but disguising it by being the same color. So it's the perfect way to get like a base coat for your rust. Up next, this hammered stuff. Hammered copper. It looks like rust, it's slightly metallic, and the best part is, it gives it a nice gnarly little texture on the surface. Now in that texture, I like to spritz on just a little bit of like the dark brown. From here on out, you can get absolutely gross with your spray paint. The more inconsistent you get, the better it's gonna look. Go thin in some spots, go thick in some spots. If it starts to drip, great. Take an old paper towel and start dabbing it nice and good. Stops the drip and then also creates a really cool texture. I'll put like 3 coats of paint like on top of each other. Go for like the oxide, go to the copper, but maybe go back to the oxide and then put brown on top of that. Just get grimy. I do try to keep in mind like where rust typically does form like in real life. Mostly like on the handles, on the latches, on the bottom, on the corners.
That's just paint texture.
Get weird with it. Once you get like that perfect amount of grime and randomness, let it dry overnight.
Kinda looks rusty, but more or less it looks like paint splatter. That's gonna get fixed in the next couple steps. While you're getting it to like this rust state, there's a couple things. One, dabbing it with a paper towel is definitely gonna help maximize that texture and make sure to like randomize it as much as you can while the paint's still wet. And then 2, some of this paper towel, like the little fibers, will actually get stuck in the paint. Don't freak out, and in fact, it's kind of wanted a little bit. Because up next, we're gonna do like that kind of like gnarly paint texture, and it's much easier than you think. Step 1 is sweep your shop. For this next step, we're gonna make some rust crud. Let's see what kind of gems we got in here. Yeah, we got some like loose screws in there. We've got a ton of sawdust. We've got like little metal pieces, washers, all kinds of crap. I like to add a little extra in there. Old crusty leaves are really good to get like some like that like little extra texture in there. Voila! Then we're gonna put our mixture into a nice little mixing bowl, and we're gonna add some water until it gets nice and clumpy. Also, sawdust absorbs a ton of moisture. So I think that looks pretty good. Well, pretty gross. All we're really gonna do is we're gonna take some of this stuff, get a good handful of it, and just kind of like avant-garde right on top of it. Like that. If there's spots that you want like the rust to show through a little bit more, just kind of focus on that. And then I'm gonna gently pat it down so it kind of stays in place. When picking a top coat, pick any color you want besides brown. It's already brown. It's not gonna look rusty if you use brown. But any color will work fine. I chose blue. Anyways, spray straight down and do small bursts at first, and then like once like that crud kind of stays in place, kind of open it up and put thicker or thinner coats, but just longer coats. And while the paint is still wet, you can give it a little bit of battle damage. Anything will work. You might notice that I only sprayed from the top down and not from like the sides. When you do this effect, you only really want to work on one side at a time and make sure it's facing up So that way you have a nice just, is it perpendicular? I don't know words. All right, now that that blue paint is pretty much dry to the touch, just gonna turn it over on its side. Gonna gently sweep off all that rust crud. You can start to see what it's gonna look like, the end product. The best part about your rust crud is you can reuse it. And now we can just repeat the process, one side at a time. Biggest thing is to make sure that your rust crud matches up with already painted rust cruds from other sides. And that way it kind of flows around the box, looks more natural. Just keep repeating this process until all sides are done, and then let it dry for a couple days. After 3 days of drying, this thing's ready to be sanded. We're gonna start with dry sanding with like 180. This is just to get the bulk of like the sawdust that's stuck in there, those paper towel fibers. We're just getting rid of that stuff. Go as gently as you can. So second part of sanding is to wet sand it with 600. This will make the box feel nice and smooth and clean, even though it doesn't look like it. The second thing too is you can really use this to like finesse like that rust texture, how much you want to come through that top coat. Just take it nice and easy, take your time, because if you start seeing some of that primer black come through, that's your warning shot that you're going a little too hard and heavy. Now let's move over to clear coat. I want heavy duty. I got the clear coat that actually has the hardener in there for like maximum durability. The other nice thing about clear coat is when you spray this over like that rust texture, it actually deepens the color. It's subtle, but it's there. Do 3 coats of this and you're ready to roll. After it's completely dry, I popped in some new hardware and I think I'm ready for some show and tell. Yeah, I know, it's a lot of work to take a 1/2 inch off of this and make it look like this, but the heart wants what the heart wants. You've seen this before, but have you seen this before? Added some hardware and a little bit more of a paint job to it. All of a sudden, this Harbor Freight toolbox is now... Now this technique is not just for rust. I mean, like, what if you want to make like a wooden box look metal, but like more of like a battle damaged metal? It's not that hard. All you really gotta do is just switch out a couple colors here and there. So instead of doing like a flat black for like the primer coat, we're gonna use like this like fake stainless steel kind of paint. Then we're gonna switch over to like this like hammered black, and that's like where we'll start using like a little bit more like the flat black, maybe a little bit of dark gray. Same kind of techniques, dab it with a paper towel, make it look all gnarly. Same thing, take our rust crud, throw it on there. But this time we're going company colors. And with just a slight sweeping away, this thing looks like it got bombed out. Not bad for an experiment.
What the hell is that?
Well, if you want to see the completed version of this, you'll have to come to Undisclosed at the TSA downtown Toledo. I know, this was a ton of work just to make it fit in a small area and do like a flat surface, but you don't need a good reason to do art. Sometimes you just need a half-assed excuse. So what's your excuse?